Hello everybody, this is Toys R Us, and for this new figure unboxing and review we're going to be looking at the Studio Series 86. This is Voyager class junkion Scrapheap. So in this video we're going to unbox him live in a second, have a look at the entire contents of the packaging. We're then going to have a detailed look at him in both of his modes, help you decide how you want to display him. We'll have a look at the accessories that come with him and again how you can use them in each mode. And we can then of course do some other comparisons with some of the other junkions from this particular toy line, other junkions from other toy lines, and of course any other figures from loads of different toy lines, just to give you an idea of how big this particular figure is and how he looks with some of the current Studio Series 86 figures as well. So as you can see, loads to get through with this video. So as I start to pop these away, I'd like to remind anybody who's not subscribed to the channel, if you'd like to hit that subscribe button for me now please, and also to thank In Demand Toys in the UK, which is where I purchased this from, and as you can see they got him to me nice and safely. So we've got to appreciate, as always, the beautiful box art on the front of all of these figures now. So because he's packed in robot mode, we've got the robot there on the front, and then usually we'd have the alternate somewhere, but to be honest, as you can see, there is no artwork there of the alternate mode at all. We've just got that looks like a CAD image rather than an actual product image, but we will get to see it for ourselves in a second. Anyway, I believe that this is a retool of Retgar, same as I think it was a Junkiep with the other one, but we will see that in a little more detail now as I'm opening him up. So this is of course based on the 86 movie, another I suppose character that didn't have the longest appearance inside it. We've obviously got the planet of junkion on the back of there, and indeed the full proper display in the background there. Now I don't want to go too much on about these. I'm very negative when it comes to the backgrounds, to be fair, because to be honest I just think that they're just unnecessary. I'd rather than put the money into getting an actual figure, actually accessory or something like that. But there you go, we can see he looks quite big. There's quite a few differences actually, so we'll have a look at them in a bit more detail. I just need to set him free right now. Okay, so I've set him free from the packaging, so we're going to do some first impressions first and foremost, then we're going to look at him in his alternate mode, and then we'll come back to do the comparisons and other display ideas. Once again, with this particular figure, I think I said this on the other two videos, I should probably go back and rewatch them, that with this you get the sense that it is quite a chunky and quite a robust figure. And I know, as I say, it's a Voyager class, so that's pretty much what you'd expect, but this one, you know, it feels exactly like that. It does feel big, it does feel robust. The joints on it feel really stiff, to be honest. I just think I need to correct rather, that's it, a couple of the orientations, because obviously this is how he was packaged. I think that's pretty much how he should go. Let's have a look at him then. So the head sculpt is obviously new. It looks really good, to be honest. It's got a lot of articulation on it. These move around as well at the back, like I think they could be the handlebars. Oh no, they're faux handlebars, but they do move around, looks up and down, as well as turns all the way around. You can see it's on a mushroom peg. The arms will go out to the side, very, very stiff, to be honest. They will also spin all the way around. They just about miss the handlebars. You've got a swivel underneath the shoulder, you've got your bicep flexion, and you've got a wrist swivel as well. You do have an ab crunch with this, but I'm sure it's because of the transformation. If I recall, I probably should have rewatched my old videos, but maybe this has got the ab crunch, and that's what made me do it. There's definitely a swivel all the way around. If we move the skirts out to the side, the legs will go fully to the side, and in fact past it. So you can go past the point of the splits as long as this is moved out of the way, and of course you can do the same either way, front to back. You can also see where it's separated there. So you've got a swivel underneath the hip. You've then got a knee bend, which is quite high up, and then you've got your toe tap, ankle tilt. Is there a rock? Yes, there is. So again, full articulation on it. Quite impressive, to be honest. I was going to say to be fair and to be honest in one word there. That's what happened there. And yeah, it looks good. Two wheels that come with him, of course, he's going to need them. And what's different about this is he's actually got a blaster rather than an axe or something else like which the other ones have. So as far as first impressions go, to be honest, I think he looks really good. Right, we're going to come back. He's going to be in his alternate mode, and then we'll take it from there. So here we are with him in his alternate mode, and again it's a great looking alternate mode. If I want to be particularly negative, which I'm not going to be, it is completely out of scale, but it's great because what it enables you to do, of course, is to let other junkions ride on it. And what I mean by out of scale is exactly that. It is just absolutely massive. I'm just going to rest Retgar on there for now, just to show you that you can, of course, pop them on and ride them, which I think is very important, because let's be honest, that's what we remember a lot about in the movies. But what I mean by out of scale is exactly that, to be honest. Let's bring in, I suppose, a few other deluxe class figures. In fact, well, I suppose this is Voyager, so it should be bigger, but obviously it's way bigger than all of these. I mean, it's a big figure. This is Masterpiece Trailbreaker, so you know, this is a big figure as well. This is huge. I really like it. I like all the junkions. I love the way that they've gone obviously onto this sort of style. This again is classed as a Voyager class. It's huge. It does look really good. I mean, to give you an idea, look, there's a G1 Bumblebee, just to give you an idea of exactly how big it is. The transformation process, though, is quite a bit different, but obviously the same as Retgar. I know that makes no sense, but because you've got such a completely different front, and I love the fact that they have managed to get these all looking so completely different. It's really good. With regards to the weapon, you can just pop this into either side if you wanted to. I obviously pulled these stands out just to hold him up in place at the start of the video, but you don't have to have these at all. You could use the spikes if you wanted to. That will still hold him up, but the good thing about this weapon is it obviously means that it can be held by another junkion while he's being ridden. I mean, let's be honest, if I was to bring in some of the other junkions, of course, from the first, I suppose from Legacy, these are much smaller, but my get out of jail for these was when I was said about all the junkions and the fact they're all different sizes. Of course, they've all been built, so they've all been built into whatever size whoever's built them out of scrap. That's just my thinking. That isn't an actual, as I say, fact. That's just what I've said in my mind, just to sort of, you know, give them the get out of jail for the fact that they are all completely different sizes. What else is clever again is this, of course, is the head, and of course I forgot to mention, but the transformation process is separately uploaded because it can be quite difficult, so I wanted to make it a tutorial, and of course I wanted to keep the main length of the video down. Other things to be aware of, and again I do point this out in the tutorial, you need the thicker wheel for the front and the thinner wheel on the back. So what I mean by that is you can see the distance, well, exactly that. You can see how much thicker the front wheel is. The fists and everything fold away quite neatly under there. It's a good looking bike, to be honest. It really is quite impressive. There isn't really too much more to say about it, though. The spikes, just in case you're wondering, the ones on the front are hard plastic, but they are, of course, shaved off. The ones which are longer, there's a little bit more playability in this. They are pretty sharp, not too bad, but nothing to worry about in honesty. And again, the colour scheme just really works with this guy. So let's get him back into robot mode, bring a load of figures in, and let's see. Oh, that's one last thing. Just because it's here, I suppose we better had. It doesn't even, oh it does, it just about fits on this particular stand, but again I suppose this is more for the robot mode, which we are going to come back and have a look at right now. So here we are then, back for the final time with him in his robot mode, and let's see, I suppose, first and foremost how he looks with his accessories. But before we do that, I'm just going to pop him on the display stand quickly, in all honesty, just so I can move it out of the way. So you can fit him on there, but why would you want to just put one? Again, I don't understand why they didn't, especially if they knew they were going to do more junkions. Why didn't they just do, you know, one which you piece together like the Teletran one in the Netflix thing? It didn't have to be, you know, as weak and as flimsy cardboard as that, but something where you could piece them all together and get them all to fit in a great big line. I think that might have been a better idea, but I suppose everything's better in hindsight, isn't it? But there you go, you can see how he fits on there. I'm just going to shift that out of the way for now, and indeed let's just show you the wheels. So I suppose I can quickly just show you what I was on about in the first part, in the middle part. You can see now that that is definitely thicker. Right, now there's a couple of ways or things that you can do this. On the box it looks like they choose to have him on his forearms, which to be honest is the way that I think I'm going to go, and the reason for that is just because of the other ones I'm going to bring in a second. But I did want to show you that you can of course attach both of these to his legs if you wanted to as well, via these ports on the side of the leg, and then of course you can pop the blaster in his hand, no problem whatsoever. To be honest, I don't think it looks that great anyway there. But again, you've got 5mm ports in these and on the side, so that of course means that he is going to be compatible, to be honest, with the other junkions, which you could obviously build up into an absolutely huge one. And what I am going to do, pretty much like it is on the back, I am going to put these on the forearms. And the reason why I'm going to do that is not just because it's there, but when I bring in the other two now in a second, you will see that that means that I've got all three in completely different ways to display them. So let's bring in the original owner of the mold, and what I mean by that is you can see I've got one on a forearm and one on a leg. Now you can see straight away we've obviously got the different head sculpt, we've got different shoulder pads, we've got a different chest, different kneecaps. I mean, there's loads of different parts on this. So again, this is of course the base of the mold from it, and it's nice to see that they are putting lots of differences in. Even the feet are different. So although, you know, the main concept is this, it's nice to know that they are still, I suppose, massively different, to be honest. And then here's the other one. Again, different head sculpt, which you can tell, different chest, different shoulders, that one's got very similar legs to Retgar, but again, like I say, so I've got two on the legs there, two on the arms there, and then a mixture with them, and I think they all look great. And again, considering these two realistically are just, I suppose, background characters, it's nice that we've got some proper figures. Now I know we did have some in the Generations toy line, I think it was Reveal the Shield or something like that, another version of these, which unfortunately I do not have. However, I do have the Retgar figure from that particular toy line. And what I wanted to do, I wasn't going to bring the original G1 in, but I suppose it made perfect sense to do so, because what I can do with this, even though it's a Retgar figure, is we can just see the difference in how the junkions, I suppose, have evolved and indeed improved over the years. So we've got original junkion right there, of course, from the 80s. Then we've got 2010, I think this was round about there. Now we've got obviously in the 2020. So huge differences in the technology and the engineering, etc. It's just great to see, to be honest. But like I say, more importantly, the fact that we are getting these figures of characters that perhaps we thought we'd never see, to be honest. Right, this is going to be really difficult, but I'm going to have a go. In fact, what I might do is, let's see if I can bring in, excuse the gap in the back of there, because what I've managed to do is get the legacy junkions as well. So we need the bigger guys at the front. Are they still going to fit there? Yep, just about. So I can put the Studio Series ones all up here first and foremost. Are they going to fit? Just about. Then of course we've got the legacy ones. So we've got Scrap Hook, Crash Bar, obviously that one is, this one's Scrap Hook. And I'm just bringing at the moment all the ones, I suppose, that are all the same sort of colour homages, which they're all looking good, aren't they? Axel Grease is great, don't get me wrong, I think she looks fantastic, but she sticks out like a sore thumb compared to them. So no, that's pretty much your junkion. Yeah, I mean, really good. It's nice that they've paid such an interest into such I'm not going to say an obscure character, because I know loads of people do actually really like the junkions, but it's nice. I suppose what I'm trying to say is that they've put so much effort and work into a brilliant little subline or a subgroup of characters that, as I said, you know, in reality they're not the biggest. Right, let's bring these out of the way for now, and then let's give you an idea of the size of this guy with some other figures. Then I'll bring in some Studio Series 86 figures just to show you with them as well. So this isn't for scale, this is just to give you an idea depending on the toy line that you collect. So if you don't collect mainline Hasbro or anything, we've got New Age, we've got Magic Square, we've got Doctor Wu, and we've got Iron Factory. So we've got a complete mixture of third-party figures there. Again, if you're thinking of moving on to these are much bigger. Right, if you collect mainline figures, we've got Generation 1. I say mainline, this isn't mainline, of course it's not mainline. What I meant to say is official figures. So this is Generation 1, this is Masterpiece. So again, he won't scale with them, but the ones that you're going to want to see are all things like this. So what we've got here is we've got Core Class, we've got Deluxe Class. I'm going to bring in two Deluxe classes because Bumblebee's obviously tiny. about as big as a core class. We've got another Voyager class there, so you can tell these Voyager classes are getting nice, big and chunky. And I haven't got a leader class, unfortunately, to hand. Nope, I haven't. But that's going to give you an idea about the size of them. But now, finally, just to, I suppose, wrap this video up, because I've realised I've been talking quite a lot about a small and obscure character. But this is, I suppose, what people want to see if they're collecting the Studio Series 86. I might as well bring him back in because he keeps trying to get in anyway. We got little wheelie, there we go, and obviously we need the giant Ultra Magnus if we're on the planet Junk. So you can see how he fits in really well with all of these. I think he looks great, to be honest. It's a great figure, and it's massively differently enough for me to warrant it being a purchase to go with the others. Okay, as I say, you can tell this is the base mold, but this is totally different, and they look good. Anyway, guys, that's what I think. You guys let me know in the comments what you think, and take care.